Have you forgotten we do your hair? Have you? Who's gonna make the next pretty whore for the ghetto, for the hood?
Why am I seeing that on August 1st, African Americans or a specific African American has forged a protest against African businesses, from African restaurants, African braiding salons, anything that is African owned? What is wrong with us?
If it's gonna put more money in your pocket, go ahead. Okay? Ain't nobody stopping you. Please.
Africans in America are not trying to be Americans. We're surviving in a country that forces you to adapt or get left behind. Have you ever heard of assimilation? You think we're cosplaying because you see us speaking English? We're not wearing our tribal clothing? Every immigrant group does it. You think the Chinese are eating duck feet at lunch? No. You think Italians came here and didn't switch it up? The difference is when we go home, yes, we become who we've always been. The language switches, the mannerisms come back, the food, the music. And let's be honest, most of us are code switching for survival. Because if we came to school eating fufu or smelling like palm oil, y'all would have laughed. Y'all been laughing. We been African booty scratchers. We been go back to the jungle. So whatever you've been taught about us, please unlearn it.
This man saying, look, a lot of Africans are not bothering anybody. How about you? He says, let's boycott the thugs you are raising. Their come up has been incredible to witness. Oh, yes, I do admire how they work hard, how they build, and I admire how they have intact families. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Baby, we got it going on right now. I said we got it going on right now. Baby, I didn't even know there was a boycott. Apparently there is a boycott against African braiding hair salons starting August 1st, and there have been some tensions on TikTok, not necessarily always in everyday life, but it does exist in some parts of this country. But there have been some tensions between Black Americans and Africans going back and forth. A lot of Black Americans are simply responding to some of the videos that have been made of Africans and a splash of Caribbeans, but this is about Africans who have insulted Black Americans. And look, at the end of the day, I know not all Africans have a problem with Black American people and vice versa, but there are a lot of Black Americans who are standing up because, look, I'm going to say some things in this video that oversensitive people don't want to hear. I know I can say things the nicest way and people will still find a way to put words in my mouth or try to make me look a certain way. Look, I'm going to give you my honest opinions about some things that some Black people for years were too afraid to say that they're saying now. And there is truth to it, but also we don't all have problems with each other. The truth of the matter is that the Black race as a whole is not doing well, whether that's in America, Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and other parts of the world. It is stupid not to, if you can, work with each other in some type of way, to be very real with you. Now, Black Americans, in comparison to Black people or people of African descent worldwide, are doing better for, usually when it comes to money, opportunity, living in America. And this is facts, but as the whole, we know what it is, especially when Black men, and they're going to get mad at me for saying this, but it's the truth, are not building across the entire globe, okay? But are we the same? No, we're not. Black people are not all the same worldwide, no. And there are a lot of Black people. Look, let me keep it real. I got my notes because there's a lot to say. I'm sure I'm going to miss some things. I have some things to show you. This woman up here, as you can see, well, she's African, and they're not happy hearing that Black people, some Black people, are no longer giving them their money at the hair salons, the braiding hair salons at all. A lot are saying, look, I can just go to a Black American woman. And a lot of them depend on Black women's money for the business. And I had shared that video last year, I believe, of a African woman born in America who said they're literally talking crap about the American black women doing their hair, making fun of them, cheating them out of money, saying all types of filthy stuff in their language. And some Africans don't like black American people, and some do. We know about the word akata. There's a lot, okay? So I have a different opinion. I have good and bad opinions, and I'm going to share them. Let me repeat before I go in. I don't have a problem with all Africans. Africa is a continent full of different countries, and some people from different parts of Africa are different from each other. Some get along with black people, and some don't. And a number of them don't get along with each other over in Africa. So we're not going to play this game. Don't come in here talking about no made up fake Willie Lynch who never existed, or a white man. What we see going on right now between Africans and black people is between Africans and black people in America. There is no white man orchestrating anything. In this world, not everyone gets along with each other. And just because they're of the so-called same race does not mean they all share the same culture, the same values, personality, things. We don't all get along. That's life. That is life. I don't feel, again, that all Africans have a problem with black people, and not all black people have a problem with Africans. Now, I want to address some things, okay? I want to address some things. First of all, if American, because I know it's going to come with some videos. Y'all probably still going to try to fight verbally up in the comment section. I want to say some things. If black Americans had such a problem with African people, black people in America would have never allowed themselves to be called African American, especially not ever living in Africa, having no real connection to Africa. Okay. Now, there are a lot of black people who do not like being called African American because it's not accurate, but it's a label that has been over here for decades. Okay. And if black people as a whole has such a shame and embarrassment about calling themselves having any connection to Africa, they would have dropped the damn label. They would have dropped the label of being called African. We all remember growing up seeing black people in the conscious rap music groups rocking them big old medallions with the Africa continent on their chains and stuff. Black people are some of the only ones who embraced Africa, while most of the diaspora didn't want to have a damn thing to do with Africa. They were embarrassed to even claim Africa, which is still the case in some parts of the world. Black Americans embraced Africa and African heritage. This is just facts. Black people are the ones who started. Michael Jackson, We Are the World. Black people were the ones helping send donations to countries in West Africa that was very poor, where those kids look skeletal. Africa, so there are black people who feel like we don't need Africans. When has Africa ever did a damn thing for black America? They haven't. No rescue mission during slavery or after it. No money sent, no clothing. Africa, look, I'm not saying this to be mean. This is a deep conversation and a real one. This is some real shit type of video. Africa has never done shit for black people in America at large, and they didn't care to. This only recent you see Ghana offering free citizenship. I think that's a beautiful thing, because some black people act like they can't stand living here. So I think they should be able to move out of here. So Ghana did that. And there were about 2 or 3 other nations that actually apologized for selling slaves off into the slave trade, which honestly, the entire black race has been practically destroyed from the Africans who did this to the black race. Honestly, the race ain't been the same. It didn't, everything, half of it just destroyed from what they did. This is just a fact. Get mad if you want to. It is. They destroyed the black race globally. Everywhere black people are, they are suffering at large. And it is because of Africans' treachery selling off African slaves. This is facts. And despite that, a lot of black Americans embraced Africans. Now, there have been some black people who have been xenophobic for a long time. But I've always seen a lot of black people always talking about, those are people and stuff, or we have African. And it's the fact we do have African ancestry. I've recently seen Africans who are saying, oh, well, how can y'all distance yourselves from us? Y'all are African. We're not Africans. We are African, European, and Native American. We are not full-blooded Africans. We don't speak African languages. We are mixed with different types of West Africans, which is not even common in parts of West Africa, which also makes black people unique just off of that. And no, we're not, but it's not just about genetics and stuff. And we don't deny having African ancestry. That's a fact. That's not all of who we are. Black families in America are diverse. Some black families in America are more mixed than other families here in America. And no one debates any Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, the Brazilians, the South African colors about it and their ancestry and when they want to claim their roots. But all of a sudden, when a black American who obviously looks different a number of times, all of a sudden, oh my God, just stop it, please, with that crap. Black people in America can look like people all over. The closest I've seen Nigerians, yes, there are black Americans who look closely to Nigerians. There's also black Americans who look Brazilian, black Americans Afro-Latino, black Americans who look a little Middle Eastern, the Afro-Middle Easterns, black Americans who look Blasian. You got it all going on up over here. Yes, there's diversity in Africa, but Africa still has a lot of tribes that only mix with each other and have a dominant look. There's not a dominant look in Black America because our genetics are mixed up and we get all types of looks, colors, and hair textures through our family, not tribe type of things. And at the end of the day, the history and culture and bloodlines are different up over here. I don't need, people will jump in and they'll show pictures of a North African, a East African, a South African, an Angolan. Black Americans don't descend from any of those people. So we look the way we look over here because of our history and our genetics versus what's going on in many parts of West Africa. A lot of us are all beautiful people, but there are differences. And despite the whole argument about that when it comes to because I've seen this recently about who's looking African versus that. Look, at the end of the day, one of the reasons, and I'm going to show these videos regarding this boycott, but I got to get into it. One of the reasons also that Black American people do not always gravitate towards Africa is due to culture. Africa is a continent, many different cultures, and I don't like it and others when there's a blanket statement where you feel that, oh, well, y'all should just say you're African. That's your people, your culture. No, baby, no. Let me make something very clear. And this is not to be mean. We do not claim all cultures of Africa because it is absolutely horrific and it is not my culture. Now, maybe if I had grown up in parts of Africa, it would have ended up being my culture. Thank God I have been spared from some of the cultural practices in some parts of Africa. When Black people are saying we're not African, they're not just necessarily talking about genes and ancestry, which we know is obviously there. What some are talking about, some might say it's a spiritual thing, but others would say it's also more cultural. For example, FGM, vagina mutilation, that is not our culture. We will not join in those cultures. We will not mix with those cultures, some of us. That is not our culture. Forcing little girls to drink goat milk or some sort of milk, the cow, the goat, to get fat to marry them off as teenagers. Yes, I did a video reaction to it. That is not our culture. Marrying 12-year-old little girls, which is not uncommon, or 13 or 14, that is not our culture. Okay? Scarring your body up full of keloids everywhere, some tribal markings. That is not our culture. If that's your culture, that's fine. That's not our culture. Wearing plate lips and stretching our ears and stretching our lip to where we don't have a lip no damn more. That is not our culture. Drinking cow's pee. Yes, I've seen it. That is not our culture. Being forced being forced to have to wear certain religious clothing, maybe a hijab, by force. Okay, I said by force. That is not our culture. Selling people into slavery as I speak and all that other stuff, which does still go on in Africa, that is not our culture. Eating monkey meat that has HIV strands in it, that is not our culture. We're not fascinated seeing albinos. We don't kidnap them and chop them up for magic potions like in Tanzania. We don't want that culture. It is not progressive. It is harmful. And that is not our culture. So I don't like when even Black Americans stop trying to act like it's some blanket statement like, oh, it's your African culture. Africa has many cultures, and there are Africans, and we don't eat raw meat, which Ethiopians do. We don't eat that. That's unsanitary. That's your culture. That's not our culture. But at the end of the day, we don't even descend from East Africans. But I'm just saying, are all Africans practicing what I just said? No. Are there a number who do? Yes. And that is not our culture, and we will not adhere to those cultural practices. So when Black people say, Africa is a continent again, but you're not going to claim and make it sound like those are our cultures and that we're supposed to get down with it or like it or love it because they happen to be African. No. Black people have look, we are American. And I've seen some who insult Black people. Oh, the white man, this and that. Well, we are American and we are mixed with the white people here. And we were raised here and we have a different culture. And Black people have also created many things that come from creating your own culture that is a part of America that Black people did, which does influence and has helped the world globally, like the traffic light, peanut butter, just to name a few things, the ironing board, Henrietta Lacks cells saving half a damn humanity. It's a lot of different things. Creating music. Most genres of music was created from Black people. Jazz, R&B, rock and roll, dance, funk. So much has been created. And it's okay. And like I've said before, Black people and Black people from different countries can be friends. You can learn from each other. You can date each other if you want to. You can have kids. The problem why people aren't getting along is because y'all trying to lie about things. Y'all trying to make something that's just not true. Just respect you're different. Respect that. Learn from that. You can join. You can be friends again, marry, have kids, and all of that. But we're going to stop this lie that we're all the damn same. No, we are not, and that is okay. And that's the case around the globe for many other groups of people as well. What you're seeing is not uncommon for different groups of people as well who are under the same racial category. They don't all get along or agree with each other on some things as well. I am going to show you some video clips. And again, with everything that I said, I don't feel that way about all Africans. I have dated a Moroccan very shortly. I talked to an Ethiopian. And he identified as Black when he came to America. He was so excited and all of that. He just was so excited and felt like he belonged and stuff. And he left to go to Canada. He came back. I know there's a lot of Ethiopians out there and stuff. And all of a sudden he was like, oh, I'm going to take you from Black men is what he told me. Then there was a Nigerian guy who was interested in me and one who told me that he wanted to marry me within a week of knowing me. He said that I'm American and we take too long to get married. I've met African women who were very sweet. I remember meeting an African woman. She let me taste, it might have been jollof rice. I'm not sure. It was absolutely delicious. And she was a model. She told me about Naomi Campbell and some stuff like that. Overall, I haven't had really bad experience with Africans. I probably met one who was rude. One of them who told me that he could have me married off. He had met my mom. I was still a teenager, and he said that he had a husband for me. It was crazy. But overall, I've never felt hatred or I'm not going to talk to no Africans. I can't do business with an African. As far as the African hair braiding shop, I don't even go to them anyway. I believe that braids will pull out your edges and pull your hair out. I don't really promote wearing braids a lot. And there have been a lot of black women who have said they braid too damn tight at the African braiding shops and don't necessarily take care of your hair. But a lot of black women for years have supported black braiding shops and have kept them afloat. They get their money from black American women a lot. So look, a lot of black women have said, you know, the hell with this. Y'all talking all this crap on TikTok. Y'all keep talking the junk. Y'all making these videos questioning us about our ancestry, talking about our last names as if the Brazilians don't have Portuguese last names, as if Dominicans don't have Spanish last names. They're mixed up and throughout the Caribbean, but all of a sudden there's always this focus on the black American. Just because black people accepted being called African American, it doesn't mean we're literally just African. Okay? All throughout the diaspora, they have mixed genes. So why the hell is it shocking you when black people say that, and which everybody knows up over here? Because black people embrace the African label more than any group in the diaspora. And in your warped mind, you believe that we were full-blooded Africans. And how could you have that last name? Why come the slave owners this and that? Okay? There's mixing that happened outside of slavery. And all types of craziness I'm not going to get into. And we are American. I'm a proud American. Yes, baby, I am. Unlike some people, even some people aren't, I am, baby. And if that bothers anybody, it bothers you. I'm not a lost soul, a lost person at all. I know my ancestors and a lot of my ancestry. I don't have an identity crisis. And I never denied any of my African ancestry at all. So let's jump into these videos. I know I've been talking for a little bit. I had to get some things out. Okay, let's see what she's saying to black women who said, we are not going to these African braiding shops starting August 1st. That's the boycott. We are going to teach y'all a lesson about biting the hands that help feed you and disrespecting the black American woman that y'all doing up on this internet. Some of them are trolls, though. And again, not everyone feels this way, but look, they decided August 1st is the day, and you're either going to do it or you're not, this boycott. So let's see what she has to say.
To the miserable ones that are saying to boycott African businesses, have you forgotten we do your hair? Have you? Who's going to make the next pretty whore for the ghetto?
She said, did you forget we do your hair? Hold on, who's gonna do your hair for the ghetto? I also find it interesting, I don't know if this is her talking about when they asked for the next African salon to do their nappy hair. Baby, we have looser hair textures than y'all on average. And I'm not saying that to be flexing, because some might say you think I'm just being real with you. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all are the ones who have 4C hair on average. And that's not an insult I'm trying to make, but okay, they're trying to say this person as an insult. Baby, you have so-called nappy hair and nappier than a lot of our hair up over here. Please be quiet. Don't start. Do not start. Okay, so she said, who's going to do the hair for the whore in the ghetto? Girl. Okay, so it's sort of buffering because it's a lot on my system, but y'all heard what she said. She's pissed about it because they know that this is a threat to their business and making money. I'm going to replay these videos. I was going to talk with some of them. I'm going to share the video again of what she's saying. Some videos that black people have been showing as to why they're like, we are not Africans, and particularly when it comes to culture, the things that they got going on up over there. Black people who don't agree and feel like black American people, y'all are crazy trying to turn your back on African people, but you won't do it for the Chinese or other people, and that y'all are wrong. So I'm going to be quiet, play the videos, and then I'll come back and give my opinion.
To the miserable ones that are saying to boycott African businesses, have you forgotten we do your hair? Have you? Who's going to make the next pretty whore for the ghetto, for the hood, for the neighborhood, right down the street?
How we should control the fast when we the one who bought it.
Black Americans, come here, come here. This is a message for y'all, especially my black American women. Come here, listen. I think it's time for us to show how strong and how powerful the black American dollar is, since they don't believe us. I think it's time to boycott the braiding shops. That's what I think it's time to do. It's time to boycott the braiding shops. Stop going. We know how to braid. Let's braid our own hair. Support our own small businesses. Stop going to the braid shops. Teach them how to have some fucking respect, because they have none. Black American power. Black American dollar. They need us. We don't need them. Remember that. Do I wish there could be unity in a community? Absolutely. But that ain't gonna happen until they give us our fucking respect. And they've never done it. So, fuck all that. Boycott time. No more African braid shops. It's time to boycott the African braid shops. Stop going. Let's show them how powerful our Black American dollar is, since they think we can't control this fucking narrative. Since they think we got everything, let's show them how much we really fucking got. Black American power. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Like, follow, share, comment below. What you think?
Okay, so now here are the video clips of some Black Americans who are showing what's going on in parts of Africa, and they're saying, the hell, this is not our culture. Don't call us no African, because this ain't our culture. I'm just showing you all the different things I'm seeing, okay?
Hey!
This woman is proudly eating rats. Now, this does happen in some other parts of the world, but, you know, she's eating a rat. She hasn't taken out its organs, I don't think, and cleaned it out. She's eating it on a stick, and they're showing, look, in America, we grill our food, we clean our food. But you have to remember, it's a different way of life. There is poverty, not in all of Africa. And if we had ended up being raised over there, to be honest with you, we would probably be eating that too. And some parts of Africa, I said some parts of Africa. So yeah, she's eating the rats. Absolutely not. This woman is letting a baby goat suck on her tatas. She's holding her baby in one arm, and on the other arm, the goat is suckling on her, and she's not even flinching. She's allowing the goat to drink from her tatas. Okay? So that's another thing that they showed. And the Chinese told the African men, you better wash your hair when you get done working. The new plantation or slave owner to the African man, they have had quite a few, and it just continues. And they're like, absolutely not. Don't get me wrong now. Black men in America also get told what to do a lot, but some of them would snap being talked to a certain way. And the Asian man is over there running a lot of things in some parts of Africa. So let's see some more different videos now with different perspectives.
Since everybody want to hate on Africans, I'm going to say it, bro. Since everybody want to throw hate on them, I'm about to show them some love, bro, by telling the truth. Watch this. West Africans, bro, especially like Nigerians, bro, when they come over here, they do very well, bro. They come over this joint, they do very well, bro. They make sure their children stay off the streets. They put their children in college, bro, and they mind their business, bro. Them people are not bothering anybody, bro. They come over this joint, bro. You see them become doctors, engineers, IT professionals, bro. CEOs, bro. The CEO of Red Lobster right now, bro. He's a Nigerian man, bro. So y'all coming on this joint, y'all dissing them, bro. It's like bro, them people ain't bothering us. Y'all need to leave them alone and learn something from them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if we gonna boycott anything, let's boycott drill music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not beefing with nobody that's black, bro. I'm not on what y'all on.
Now, some people were surprised that she's African. She's Congolese. And I believe she's Congolese. And some black people were attacking her, saying that you were trying to look like us because you're not wearing tribal wear. So she's like, look, we live in America, and she doesn't have to dress like that. I mean, she's in America, and we did not invent jeans as black people. We did not invent cotton shirts and stuff. Let's keep it all the way real here now. Okay, just because some of you wouldn't think that she was an African, doesn't mean that she's trying to steal anything. So let's see what she had to say to Black people saying, oh, well, the way you are styling yourself or carry yourself or you're acting American. Well, she is American. She, pretty much she's assimilated, and other people. But listen to what she has to say.
Africans in America are not trying to be Americans. We're surviving in a country that forces you to adapt or get left behind. Have you ever heard of assimilation? You think we're cosplaying because you see us speaking English? We're not wearing our tribal clothing? Every immigrant group does it. You think the Chinese are eating duck feet at lunch? No. You think Italians came here and didn't switch it up? The difference is when we go home, yes, we become who we've always been. The language switches, the mannerisms come back, the food, the music. And let's be honest, most of us are code switching for survival. Because if we came to school eating fufu or smelling like palm oil, y'all would have laughed. Y'all been laughing. We been African booty scratchers. We been go back to the jungle. So whatever you've been taught about us, please unlearn it. Because I made a post very unprovoked. And then all of these people came for me because I said Africans are the first people. And I wasn't saying it just because I so happen to be African. Don't fight me. Fight history. Don't confuse survival with imitation. We know who we are. We're not trying to tell y'all, come on, find who you are. But don't disrespect it because your grandparents were also lied to. We didn't erase your identity. We're still learning to hold on to ours while walking through customs and racism that is being passed on by our own people. So let's clear this up. We are not cosplaying. We're doing what every group does. Adapting, surviving, blending in without disappearing.
Which African do you have a beef with? How can a whole continent live rent-free in someone's mind? I don't get it. I think the last one I heard was we're eating out of necessity. Africans don't have food. Our food is trash. We're eating out of necessity. I heard another one. Africans think they're better than us. And now I'm here, you want to boycott Africans? Okay, go ahead. If no African person is giving you, I am telling you. And you know what irks me is which Africans? Like, there are a lot of Africans. Are you talking about Nigerians? I'm Nigerian. Are you talking about Ghanaians? Are you talking about Congolese people? Are you talking about South Africans? Like, which African do you have a beef with? Be specific. I don't know, man. How come August 1st you want to boycott African braiding salons? Go ahead and boycott them. It's going to make you sleep better at night. Please, go ahead. Do what brings you peace. Because right now, I am all for everyone's peace and quietness and my own peace too, so that I don't have to keep hearing this every 2 business days. For real. If it's gonna make that coffee burn faster, go ahead. If it's gonna put more money in your pocket, go ahead. Okay? Ain't nobody stopping you. Please, if it's gonna give you peace of mind, go ahead.
While I'm scrolling on my FYP and it's these tethers talking about it sounding so corny, don't even know the true definition of tether, and talking about you shouldn't be proud to be American.
Understand both perspectives, right? One respects what we all went through and stuff like that, all the history that we...
First of all, I seen Port-au-Prince and City Soleil, Haiti. It looks terrible. Africa is Babylon. Our bands sound good because we let the walls of Jericho crash down. We invented the cell phone, the bed, the helicopter, the air condition, the HVAC system, the home security system, GPS, the stoplight, the gas mask, and the list goes on. And y'all have not invented anything. So why should we not be proud when we are making more progress the entire diaspora? Y'all living in 1000 BCE. Y'all haven't made progress in over 200 years. You don't even know why your countries are the way you are. You don't know if you're African. You don't know if you're Latino. You speaking Spanish from Spain. You speaking Portuguese from Portugal. And Haitians don't know if they're Latino or African. Africans, y'all don't know if y'all came from South Africa, Nigeria, Mali, or none of that, because those names and borders was created by colonizers. Always got our name in y'all mouth.
If you're not Black, just keep scrolling. This video is for my African Americans and African brothers and sisters. Specifically for us. I am so confused. Why am I seeing that on August 1st, African Americans or a specific African American has forged a protest against African businesses, from African restaurants, African braiding salons, anything that is African owned. They have started a campaign that on August 1st, we as Black Americans will be boycotting these businesses. What the fuck is wrong with us? What is wrong with us just as a people, as Black Americans, African Americans? What the fuck is wrong with us that it makes sense to boycott African businesses because you may have had a bad experience with a African business? You've also had a bad experience with an Asian business. You've had a bad experience with a white business. You've had a bad experience with an Hispanic business, and so on and so forth. Where's the energy for those businesses that continuously come into our communities and disrespect us? But you want to start a war, a beef, continue a beef with Africans? Like, make it make sense. We are all one. Sure, we can distinguish ourselves as African American or African, but they look at us all the same. They don't look at an African and say, oh, you're African. They don't look at me as an African American and say, oh, she's an African American. No, she's a nigga. They all the same. So what sense does it make that we are boycotting our own people? Sometimes we can really be our own worst enemy. They don't even need to do anything to divide us. There's nothing more that they need to do. We can complete the mission ourselves. The self-hate, because that's what it is. It's self-hate. There is no way. I don't even know how this thing even got legs. How did this even get legs? You got people agreeing with it, like, yeah, when I go into the hair braiding shop, that's why Black women ain't got edges, and that's why Black women got bald spots or losing hair because they braid so tight. What? That's the reason why you're boycotting them? Because you made a choice to let somebody braid your hair a certain way and you didn't get the desired results? So that's justification to boycott an entire community of people? Like, y'all dumb. I say it all the time to my friends and family. The majority of people are fucking stupid. And I mean that with my whole entire chest. Y'all are some dumb, ignorant ass people. Because this don't make no goddamn sense. How you boycott your own people when you got people, other races, other communities that have done far worse to us than we do to each other? But you want to sit here and boycott your own people? I don't even have no more words because I'm really going to go off and get to cursing on here, and I don't need to be doing all that. Y'all need to grow up and do better. Matter of fact, let's make August 1st, you do go to an African business. If there's an African beauty supply, if there's an African, I don't know, corner store, whatever kind of business it is out there that an African may have, go ahead and make sure y'all frequent it on August 1st. Let's counteract this ignorance because this is fucking stupid. So goddamn dumb.
It's what they have done. Ladies and gentlemen, they have given up on the fight to fix their own country and resorted to looking for what they couldn't achieve or cannot achieve in their own country, in other people's countries. And ladies and gentlemen, this shouldn't have been a problem because every other African country actually does it. Except that they are looking for this success by any means necessary and in the shortest possible time. They are of the view that people outside of their country are not as driven and aggressive towards becoming successful as they are. Many of them are therefore driven into all sorts of illegal enterprises anywhere they settle. Your people are running from your country as though the entire country is at war. Both men and women, young and old, to every other country. Therefore, the fight other countries have to put in to attain the peace you see and desire is what you have denied and declined. Instead of trying to make yourselves relevant in other countries, instead of trying to insert yourselves into the social fabric of other countries by all means necessary, how about this? How about you go back home and build your country?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Because y'all got smoke for all the other immigrants except for your favorite ones. It's crickets. Because Nicki Minaj came here when she was 5. Drake came from Toronto. 21 Savage, England. Rihanna, Barbados. They came here, assimilated as well, but was accepted wholeheartedly. But they get free access passes to the culture, huh? So what's really the issue? If I had a mic and a Grammy, y'all wouldn't question my proximity to culture. You'd quote me, and some of y'all have been. I see the stitches. Hey, boo. I'm not confused. Y'all just like y'all immigrants packaged in a certain way. Famous, entertaining, and far enough removed to never challenge you personally. Why am I bothering you so much? This is not high school. There is no beef. If you think I have beef with you, then you are delusional. But me, I'm just a regular African girl who's been here since she was 5. So if they're allowed to assimilate without essays or dissertations, why do I have to explain myself? I'm sharing the struggle because so many other people are facing it till this day.
Okay, so that is it for the video clips. So I want to just say a few things from the video clips I just showed you. Now, some people, y'all are going to be surprised at what I'm about to say, especially Africans who have been watching this. Baby, like I said, I'm going to tell the whole truth. Some of the video clips, this man saying, look, a lot of Africans are not bothering anybody. How about you? He says, let's boycott the thugs you are raising. And we have to be honest. We can't walk around acting like black people in America don't have issues. Yes, there are civil wars that go on in many parts of Africa and tribal issues and stuff. But look at how black men especially, look at how you take each other out every single week. Look at how the twerking culture has been embraced and how we don't always call out bad behavior. Some do. Or again, 70% of black boys not knowing how to read in California. We have a lot of problems, which is why I said, yes, we might be the richest compared to other black people. Yes, we have a lot of opportunities that, yes, a lot of Africans, while they don't always do amazing in the continent of Africa, and I'm not saying all of them, they do. A lot of them are doing very well in America. A lot of them have their families intact. A lot of them are very educated. A lot of them have a lot of successful businesses. This is facts. And they don't want to associate with some of the filth that our so-called community accepts and promotes. And our image is absolutely terrible around the globe, where there are Africans who don't want to even marry or be bothered with some black Americans. And it's not because simply that you're black American, which does exist, but because of some of the things that are embraced and promoted within the culture that's considered disgraceful amongst a lot of nations. We have to be honest about that too. While we do have a lot of very well-to-do black people here who are not trifling, we also have a significant amount who also are as well. But look at parts of Africa where they do horrendous things too. That's why I said, well, globally, a lot of black people are not all doing well. When that woman said, how can you boycott them, but you won't boycott other groups of people who treat you terrible? And the one thing I would say to her is, first of all, I agree, but also there are Africans who would never even bring you home. They would tell their son not to even marry you because you are not one of them. That exists too. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're going hard, you can, but there are some of them who would never F with you. Before all of this stuff you're seeing on TikTok, they would not want their son to even wife you up or date you or bring you home because you are not African. There are a number of Africans who know you are not African. A number of you. This whole thing with them on the internet talking about everybody African now, this is new. This is new. Because not too long ago, they made the distinction, especially if you don't look like them, they might try to figure out what kind of African you could be. I had this experience when I was in a city, like staring at me. Is she this? Is she that? One of them said, oh no, she's the white man. One of them literally said that. Stuff like that happens. And then you have some who are very nice. I remember I went to an African restaurant because I do like to try different foods, and I would still like to try different foods from different parts of Africa. I would not mind visiting parts of Africa. But now what you see all of this going on, it makes me a little bit nervous. If you step in there and they know you're American, I don't know if they might do something to the food. This is very serious what's going on, because Black people in America, I've seen what's going on with the whole FBA wars and all this stuff. And look, people don't have to butt kiss anybody. People should be able to talk about things that's really going on, even if there are some cultural clashes. But Black America, you are making yourselves an enemy amongst all nations. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who didn't even like Black Americans to begin with. But even within the Black race, between the different cultures and ethnicities, the insults, the assuming everybody African or Caribbean doesn't like you. I already said there are plenty of half Caribbean, half Black American people all throughout the North and Northeast, the South, the Northeast, the East Coast, whatever. Plenty of that. So that's not true. And then the insults and people rolling with things they're seeing, trolls pretending to be people. Just like I said in a different video, racism is like a bacteria. Yes, you will have people even within your race who don't get along, and you have others who do. Don't stereotype all people or assume everybody has a problem with you, okay? Because yes, Black people have thrived, some alone, but it's smart to be able to do business and to get along with other Black people from different countries, especially in a world that there are a significant amount of people who are hostile and who are anti-Black, no matter what country or whatever your ethnicity, even what your mix is. They don't all care about that, some of them. And I definitely believe in friendships and people working together and having unity with each other. But I'm also not going to join in and support cultural practices. Like I said, that is absolutely horrible to me, and I'm not dealing with that. But I'm not going to judge every single African, because that would be very ignorant of me. And I would never think that I'm better than all of Africa when I see every day the horrors that go on within the Black American community every single day. Don't get me started again on those femicide rates. So he said it, you know. Ban drill music, ban things within our community that's toxic. A lot of African people, I didn't say this, I wanted to in a video. Like I said a little bit, they do progress in America. Their come up has been incredible to witness. Oh yes, it comes to education, healthcare. Even when I look in the luxury space, when I see women who are traveling, who are dressing beautiful, a lot of them are African women. The African woman, West Africa especially, has come up like I have never seen these recent years. They are really doing the damn thing. They are traveling. When a lot of people meet Black people in a lot of these different countries, most of them are Africans, especially Nigerians. Nigerians can live anywhere. They are hustlers. Yes, people give them the stereotype of scammers, but these people work and they start businesses. They travel the world, and they are the representation of Black people overseas in so many countries where people don't see Black people. 8 times out of 10, they are African, doing the damn thing and improving race relations in countries that don't even see Black people, like what you see going on in China and in other countries. This is facts. Yes, a splash of Black Americans you see in these countries, but a large percent of them doing the damn thing are Africans. So I don't think anyone really could deny that. But people will just say, well, okay, you're doing this outside of Africa. Why can't all of Africa or parts of Africa get it together and all of that? So while Africa does have its problems, I do admire how they work hard, how they build, and I admire how they have intact families, a number of them. So when they say this online, they're not lying, and they should be proud of that. Absolutely. The problem is that there's so many Black people around the whole damn globe is living in parts, kind of in delusion a little bit, pretending like we are all, like we don't have some horrific problems within each culture. You know, a lot of Black women are being murdered in the Caribbean with machetes. A number of Black women are being sold off by their African men from Nigeria in Italy as SEX slaves. They still have slavery in parts of Africa. The forced arranged marriages, the FGM, all types of stuff here in America. Okay, what we see going on with black men and women and the things in the so-called community. So no one is perfect up in here. We both have our pros and our cons when it comes to the cultures and community. And I don't feel like black people have to tolerate disrespect just because someone happens to be black from another country. I don't believe in that at all. Okay, the same way I don't believe you have to tolerate disrespect from someone else who is not black from a different culture. But I see the bigger picture, and I know how important it is for black people to get along with each other in life and in business. It would be the smart thing to do. So, but you can't force things, and some people are going to get along and some aren't. Some people like each other, some won't. Some are attracted to each other and some are not at all. This is facts. So it is what it is. That's all I have to say for this video. How do you feel? Okay, don't fill this comment section up with a bunch of racist comments back and forth between each other. You can still give your opinion in a respectful way and keep it real. Your experiences, everyone has different experiences. And like, I'm not going to boycott African restaurants. I mean, there's none around me, but if I were around some, I mean, I wouldn't boycott them. Again, not all black women even go to African braiding shops, but some do. Are y'all going to boycott them, the braiding shops and their establishments in your area? Let us know in the comments section. Is this a forever thing for you? Are you judging all Africans for what a number of them are saying on TikTok, the back and forth, and some black Americans saying horrible things towards them? So, you know, I will see some videos and it's like, oh my God. And then I read the comments and some people will say, oh, but you're African. We don't live, just stop it. We don't have an African identity at large. That's long gone, but we do claim our roots, but we don't have African culture. We might have a few similarities, but there are differences, okay? And just accept that truth, even down to, again, to genetics and stuff. It's going to be okay. We do have African ancestry. Black Americans have always embraced that more than most damn people. Now, a lot of people in the different countries are embracing the Afro label, Afro this, Afro that, when black people was the ones who started it and didn't even protest being called African American again. So, that's all I have to say. You know, I hope we get along. Be friends. If y'all want to date each other and marry, go ahead and get along and do business together. It would be a great thing. And some will not get along and have some cultural clashes. Hopefully things get better. What do you think about this boycott? Okay, so that is it for this video, baby. I cannot wait to hear what you think about all of this. Are you boycotting the Africans, the West Africans, baby? The West Africans at large? I mean, I guess they're also protesting any other Africans that might be from South Africa or East Africa and stuff. So I want to know, what do y'all think about this? Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for all notifications so you know when I'm live. If you would like to donate to me to support my channel, my Cash App info is in the description box. You all take care. Bye.